Hey my friends, I'm Sam, this is Oscar. Honda brought us up to Yosemite National Park to do what? What do you think they brought us up here to do? Test drive a vehicle. You guessed right. We're in the Honda Passport actually, in what Honda calls the Passport to Adventure. So we're just gonna kind of talk about the Honda Passport because that's what Honda brought us here to do. That's what's coming up. All right, so what is the Honda Passport? Now, Honda Passport looks pretty familiar. If you look at the front of this thing, it looks a lot like a Honda Pilot, and that's because it's based on the Honda Pilot. What they've done, they've actually made it slightly shorter, about 6.5 inches shorter, shares just about the same wheelbase. The changes in styling really come to the front, as you can see here. While it does have a lot of similarity to not only the Ridgeline and the Pilot, but they've given it sort of a slightly different face, a little bit more aggressive, a little sportier. This is a fully loaded Elite model priced out right around $44,000. Now standard on this, LED headlights, LED fog lights, 20-inch wheels are standard, even all the way down to the base level Sport, which starts at about $31,000. At the back of the Passport, this is the part of the vehicle that I really find is kind of interesting to look at. I really like the design of the spoiler in the roof line, the way they've divided it with this little black piece of trim, and then the spoiler has sort of a ducktail kick up, and the third brake light is integrated very well into that. LED taillights. Look down at the rear bumper, genuine dual exhaust tips. I always point that out like it's a novelty, but there's a lot of automakers out there putting fake ones in, and that really bugs me, so I love it when they do real ones. But look at the curvature. There's just, Honda's done a little bit different here, the unexpected from Honda. So the Honda Passport is very much like the Honda Pilot, but a little bit smaller. They got rid of that third row, and it seats 5 now. And so it really gives people something to buy that is a little bit, was that our turn? Who knows? We're on an adventure after all. Honda wanted to offer something to their buyers that was larger than the CR-V, but not quite all the way up to the Pilot because, gosh, the Pilot's big and expensive. So now that this is shorter and it only seats 5, it really competes against vehicles like the Chevy Blazer, Nissan Murano, Hyundai Santa Fe, Kia Sorento, things like that. The interior of this, if you're used to the Honda Pilot or other Hondas, is going to be a pretty familiar place. As you sit behind the wheel, everything looks just like the same as it would be in a Pilot. In fact, really the only big difference between this and the Honda Pilot is the fact that there is no third row seat back there. You've got all the same great features in here as you're going to find with the 3-row version of this car. Honda quality, the switchgear. This doesn't have lane watch though for some reason, a feature I really think would be helpful on an SUV. Honda still does put that in a lot of their cars. Curiously missing here. Did we pass Triangle? I'm pretty sure that was true. Or wait,
there is the Triangle Road ahead.
Is that it? Perfect. All right, our turn's coming up. I can like walk and chew gum at the same time, but driving and talking at the same time, sometimes hard. One of the questions I always do like to ask is, how does it go? Ooh, I heard some tire squeal. And 60. So I was kind of taken off like from a stop sign around a corner there, and 80. Now we're doing 80. We're speeding, that's speeding. Okay, I'll slow down. It's got pretty good power. Under the hood here is a 3.5 liter V6, same V6 you'll find in the Honda Odyssey minivan, the Ridgeline pickup, the Honda Pilot, as I mentioned. The horsepower ratings are on the graphic there because I can't remember all the specs off the top of my head because I'm on vacation here, right? I'm on an adventure. But those are pretty competitive specs in its class compared to a lot of the things it competes with. The power from this V6 is actually pretty good. You can really nail it. Paddle shifters work good, which is actually pretty unusual. Most of the time they're useless toys, but they actually do what you say here. And I always find that impressive. The wheelbase is about the same on this thing as it is to the Pilot, but what they've done is they've raised it up a little bit and they've shortened it on both ends so that you've actually got better approach angles for getting off-road and things like that. On the road, the other takeaway is it's a little bit lighter and a little bit more athletic on its feet. And I was telling Oscar, who drives the Honda, this feels like a Honda. It has the Honda feel in the way it drives, and that's, for me, that's always been sort of this nice, solid, precise handling, solid feel of quality thing that Honda just has going for it. So if you're into camping or just going on road trips like up here to Yosemite, this handles really well on this mountain road. Pretty good level of grip going around these corners, so you can confidently go around curves. All-wheel drive is standard on this. This has Honda's torque vectoring all-wheel drive. There's a nice graphic on the instrument cluster here when you dial up the different modes. Down here on the center console, I have a mode selector, which allows me to sort of dial it into if I were in sand, mud, or snow. Now, it's not a really heavy-duty off-road type system that allows you to do fully locking. It can send 70% of the power to the rear axle, and of that 70%, it can vector 100% of that 70% to one side or the other. That handling advantage you get from the torque vectoring really does come in handy in slippery weather like mud or sand or snow. So if you live in those sorts of environments, this is an all-wheel drive system that's going to give you a little bit more than you're going to find in some of those competitors. Worth noting. He's helping me remember all the stuff I'm supposed to talk about because I'm on vacation, so my brain's turned off. One of the things that Honda really did that was cool for us on this trip is we stayed at this place called Auto Camp, Yosemite Auto Camp. You can look that up. It's this awesome glamp ground. That's the word, glamping, glamp ground. Airstream trailers set up in a campground like a hotel. And they've got a full clubhouse set up for events and things like that. There was a wedding last night, a duck pond, campfires. But these Airstream trailers are set up like a hotel room, so they've cleared them out a little bit so that you can actually move around in them with more than one person. Very comfortable place, very cool. It's pretty expensive though, but definitely worth it. You gotta check that out. Well, there you have it for my adventure in the Honda Passport up here at Yosemite National Park. Obviously, Honda brought me up here to have some fun with their car, so that's what happened here. Honda Passport. So am I saying nice things about it because Honda brought me up here? Not necessarily. You watch enough of my videos, you know I tend to be quite honest. If you like the Honda Pilot, if you like the Honda CR-V, this is a great in-between, and that's what it's all about. It is more aggressive, it's sportier. That is the Honda Passport to adventure. If you like the video, please click there to see my latest one, or click down there, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Either way, stay tuned.